These are the top 4 mistakes that I see as a divorce attorney that not only cost people thousands of dollars, but hours of heartache and pain. The first most common mistake that we see is people misunderstanding separate versus marital property. Just because it has your name on it doesn't mean that it's yours. In Oklahoma, marital and separate property have very specific definitions of what does and does not qualify as your separate property and not subject to division or divorce. Generally speaking, property can only retain its status as separate if it is an inheritance or a gift specifically to you. However, things become gray over years. If you received an inheritance from your family or some other means, and it is commingled or combined with other assets that are part of the marriage, there's a chance or a risk that that separate property loses its status and becomes marital property during the process. Really understanding the definition of separate and marital property and ensuring that you maintain the status of something as separate property can save you thousands of dollars and potentially ensure that you protect what is yours in the divorce process. You may think your angry post, tweet, or snap may be gone in a day, but the truth is it's never gone. The fact that your comment was deleted by you or pulled down from expiration doesn't mean that that platform no longer retains it. We've been involved in many highly contentious cases where someone says something threatening to the other spouse or dangerous as it relates to the child, and we've been able to do a subpoena or a legal document to that platform in order for them to recover that and provide us and subsequently the court with the statement that was made. There are safe spaces to vent. There are safe times that you can say what you truly feel in a moment of anger or fear, but social media is never the right place. We highly encourage people to get with a counselor or someone to help you with the difficult emotions that come during the divorce process. Or if that's not something you've done yet, say it in the confidential setting of speaking to your lawyer, because once you put it on social media, it is never gone. Once you put that comment on social media, it never goes away. And if it's the wrong thing, it can be used in the right way by the other side to hurt your case. You may feel inclined to not let the other side know about it if they don't know yet. But the danger in hiding assets is that it can open you up to future litigation. If you hide assets during the divorce process, meaning they're not included in the divorce decree as separate property or divided to you in the marital property division, then the other side can come after those assets at a later date and time. If the other side finds out about that hidden asset at a later date, they can come back to the court and seek a process to obtain their interest in that property. Remember, the discovery process is an important tool, not only to protect your interests, but also ensure that you document the other side's assets. If you think that there is a chance that the other side has hidden assets, it's very important that you submit discovery requests in writing to the other side, asking about a catch-all type question related to, are there any other assets, whether separate or marital property, that exist at this time? The simple fact that you find out about an asset later is not enough. It's important that you go through the proper process to document seeking the information and show that the other side intentionally misrepresented or hid something during the divorce process. I would be worried if you didn't have a certain level of emotions driving your thinking, at least early on in the divorce process. But that's why it's important to work with an experienced attorney and, if need be, get with a counselor to deal with the things that you are facing. Emotions are an important factor in the divorce process. However, you cannot let yourself be driven by your emotions. By working with an experienced family law attorney, you can identify emotion versus logic. You can identify what can actually be resolved and what can't be resolved in the divorce process. You can develop an idea of what your primary goals are in the process and then build a strategy and game plan to try and seek those goals. By doing so, you build a plan and a strategy based on logic, and let emotion take a back seat during the divorce process, which maximizes your chance for success by focusing on the things that can be dealt with in a divorce, not the emotions. We've just talked about the 4 most common mistakes that we see in divorce cases in Oklahoma. I hope this has brought to light some of the issues that you should be intentional about avoiding during the divorce process. I'm John Cannon with Cannon Associates, and if you have questions about divorce, we have answers. Contact us today for a free confidential case strategy session and get answers to your questions about the divorce process.